ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Greenleaf, Season 3, Episode 5. Now, oh Lord, this episode. As we know, Zora is staying at the house with Lady May, and Lady May has Zora going and doing Bible study, trying to press that whole reset with her because she's just been wilding and doing whatever she wanted for a while now. And Lady May realized we need to reintroduce the Lord to her. Here we see that Sophia comes downstairs. Sophia says, "Hey, this is Zora. Good morning." But Zora doesn't say anything. I said, "Oh, so you're rude even in front of your grandmother. Okay, got it. But then, of course, Grandma got it together. Zora, being the good one, is going out jogging. She can do that because she can be trusted. But we see early that there's something off with her. And so that's going to be a very important central theme going on during this episode. Like I said, I'm not doing this review just one after the other I will be jumping around a lot. So we can actually just go straight with Sophia to make it easier. Sophia, she has an issue health-wise. I thought that maybe it was just her, she was having an appendicitis attack. I thought maybe that's what it was, but it wasn't. It was something actually even worse. Because the entire episode she was having pains. She actually was teaching a Bible study class for the little kids, and it was going really well. And her boyfriend was there, and he apologized to her. He apologized, and I said, okay, great, cool, great, perfect. When she's talking to Zora in the house, because Zora was, oh God, what a brat. Zora was trying to ignore her with the music, because originally, okay, fine, the music was loud enough, didn't hear her. But after that, she was trying to ignore her. And Sophia was just saying, hey, I'm not trying to talk to you too much either. I'm just trying to show you a little bit of respect. That's all. How's everything going with you? I was like, yeah, cool, fine, great. And thankfully, for a moment, the little god and Zora came out and said, okay, what's wrong with you, Sophia? She said, just feeling this slight pain. And it was just like, oh, well, you sure you're not pregnant? And I said, ha, so cute. I understand she didn't think it was too big a deal because she's ignorant and stupid. But we move on. And it pisses me off because I wanted different for her. I really, really did. And there's still time. That's the important part. There's still time for Zora. Sophia, the pains kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So I don't know if it was Lady May. I don't know if it was one of the housekeepers. I don't know if it was Zora that found her. But after she talked with Zora, the pains got worse. I said, well, I'm not surprised about that. No, let me stop. She went to the hospital, and it was interesting because Grace was talking to Darius about her mother and the church, and she just wants her parents to figure it out. That's what she really wants. My only thing with that is that's not fair. That's not fair to your mom, because there are certain things that you're now aware of, and that's not your fault. But the reality is, this is where we see Grace is still a kid, because her ultimate goal is she wants her family to be whole without putting in the work. That's not realistic. She was going to ignore the phone call from her mom, but Darius said, don't do that. Don't do that. And so then and it's a good thing she didn't, because she found out that her baby was in the hospital. Thankfully it wasn't her appendix, because Lord, if that bursted, she could have died right there on the spot. But they're going to go do surgery, and they already gave her some medication. And the thing with the medication they gave her, it was definitely strong, because she was like, hey, so, man, old dude, we's doing all right. He apologized for some dumb stuff that he did. And you know what? He says he wants to marry me. And then she was talking about how she's going to have kids. She's going to move out. She's going to go to school. She's going to do all these things. And we said, great, perfect, ideal daughter. Thank you. She gets knocked out. she wakes up and, well, before she wakes up, Grace was told by the doctor, I'm sorry, we had to take out your daughter's ovaries because they're essentially cysts that we found. And it was a situation where even though they were benign, we needed to get rid of them because they're technically foreign objects in your body. That's what they are, categorized. So that can't stay there. And I've heard some people say that there were some other measures that possibly could have been done. But the thing is, you just, like, I would be terrified if I'm like, okay, I can't have kids. All right, do what you need to do because I want to live. I want to live. I don't want things to magically go and get worse because we just left in there. You don't know. You don't know. My only thing is, I understand they found it halfway through. I wish that Grace could have been told, okay, here's what's happening. Here are our options, but maybe it's one of those things where they had to do it on the spot. But that's my only thing. I just felt like, especially since Sophia was out and also a minor, that Grace should have been more informed by the doctor or specialist that, hey, this is what has to be done, so that she at least knew, not after it was already done. So then when Sophia wakes up and Grace is trying to say, oh yeah, everything went fine, Sophia said, Mom, there's something you gotta tell me. And it's like, sorry, they took out your ovaries. Wait, what does that mean? And then she realized, because remember, she was still out of it, that she can't have kids. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad for her because I'm like, dang, it's a lot of times it's the people that you know would be great parents or just seem like great people that have some of the worst things happen to them. So I felt really bad for her. We'll talk about Charity next because, oh, Jesus. So Charity's going through it. I'm convinced that she's suffering through postpartum depression and that it wasn't caught until maybe now. Charity, she is back at home. Grace is trying to talk to her. And so I guess the cops arrested her but allowed her to come back with the contingency of, we'll release you, but you have to go back home. And she is getting the baby ready because Kevin's going to come and get the baby. Grace is trying to console her sister and say, hey, I'm here for you. What's going on? Charity's just like, look, leave me alone. I don't have time for you, and I don't have time for this. And I said, oh, dang it, Charity, dang it. So then we saw, Charity, she has these pills, and it's oxycodone. And really strong stuff. Really, really strong stuff. It's not something you just pop to pop. It's something you take for severe pain, like after surgery pain, which makes sense because she was prescribed that stuff after she had her baby. Initially, because I guess there were some complications. Remember, she lost money, but she's still taking it. And so when Kevin comes, takes the baby, she, gently hands off the baby and then drops the bag, kind of like a screw you. And he's kind of looking at her like, dang, because she hasn't changed her clothing. So then when the stuff happened with Sophia, of course she went to the hospital, but everyone thought that, dang, maybe she's drunk. And I'm thinking, but that's still not okay. Why aren't we making more of a big deal about this, a big fuss about this? There's something clearly wrong with her, and y'all are just looking like, oh, well, I hope she figures it out. That was my biggest complaint. That was my biggest irritation with them. There's something wrong with her. Why is everyone looking as if they're just some random person on the street, seeing her, laugh at, well, at least Sophia's here now. At least she's good now. She'll be taken care of. Don't worry about it. That's how she was acting and reacting most of the time, which irked me, but I understood that she was high. She was high because she took another pill when Kevin came and got the baby, because she had a breakdown because there's like separation anxiety from her baby. It's trauma for her, and that was the other reason why she doesn't. That's the real issue with her and Kevin. She lost her husband. She lost her she was trying with her husband, but that wasn't going to work out. Fine. She had this other rebound relationship that clearly she needed more than she realized, and now she's popping pills. She's popping pills. She was arrested. She was drinking, doing all this. And then at the hospital, it comes to a boiling point because she wants to go and, like even with Carissa, when Carissa was talking to Zora, because Carissa and Jacob were talking to Zora and they were telling her, baby girl, we did not kick you out. You can come home. You said you wanted to leave home. We wanted to show you that, okay, here's an option if you leave home. But Zora's being difficult. She's being a teenager. Fair enough. But again, they keep telling her, you can always come home. We are not kicking you out because we don't want you there. We're trying to give you what you said you want. So here comes Charity out of nowhere, kind of like, whatever, her being bad, difficult, being a mess. Essentially saying, that's a lost cause, but at least you have another child that you can go and try again. I said, whoa. And again, she didn't say those exact words, but that's what she meant. And Carissa was looking at her like, excuse me? So then Charity was trying to go put in coins into the vending machine. And I was thinking, how much did she put in there? And it wasn't working. It wasn't working. It wasn't dispensing her chocolate bar, because she couldn't even call it a chocolate bar. She was like, the thing, the bar, the chocolate bar, the candy bar. It was a candy bar, the candy bar. But it took her like 5 seconds to figure out the name of it. I'm thinking, oh my God, she is so high. And so then she starts shaking the machine, and then Carissa's like, honey, I'll just put more money in it. It's fine. And so then she goes, boom, punches the machine. Lady May's there at that point because Lady May was like, wait, what's going on? What's wrong? And I felt so bad because she was so high. Charity was so high. She took the chocolate bar and was essentially like, my hand's bleeding. I guess someone should figure that out. I'm thinking, oh my God. So then the doctors took a look at her, bandaged her up, and Lady May just, told them, hey, Bishop, hey, she's high. She was high of oxycodone, and because Bishop was trying to tell her that we need to stay united. We need to be a united front this entire episode. And she said, remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back. We need to be parents to our children. Yes, you need to be a father, I need to be a mother. We need to be there for them, but we just can't do it together as a unit. And Bishop was crushed by that, but that's his reality. Bishop messed up. What do you expect? Like, I understand that she did her own stuff too, but you were willing to forgive her. That's fine. She doesn't have to do the same for you. She doesn't. She does not, but she is so jealous of Grace, Lady May, it hurts. And I feel so bad for Grace because, Silver Fox Deacon came and talked to Grace again. And because Grace said, look, I want the church to be inclusive, but I also want there to be change. I want a church that will allow change, period. Be progressive, period. And Silver Fox had to tell her, hey, I understand what you want, and I'm not saying that it's bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the other people that make this church go round and round don't want the same things that you want, which means that in the long run, you'll end up, this church will end up going down. This church will end up being up for sale. We need a Greenleaf. We need someone to take the helm. But Grace really doesn't want to do it. And Grace even reiterated that to Lady May, because Lady May was talking to Silver Fox Deaconess, and Silver Fox Deaconess also told Lady May, hey, Bishop, he can't, if you two are going to separate, that's fine, but he can't go and continue to run this church. So Lady May said, yeah, I'll do it. Silver Fox said, no, it needs to be an impartial third party. But who could that be? And that's when she originally said Grace. And so Lady May kind of told Silver Fox again later on, hey, I am actually going to do this. And so it's the situation of you're either with me or you're against me. It's that's all it is, because this happened in one way or the other. But Lady May is so jealous of Grace, and Grace doesn't even want anything from her except for her parents to be happy. It's so sad. It is so sad, and it's so disgusting. It is so disgusting. And you do hear that sometimes, where it's like the parents' relationship with their child is off because one parent is upset that, okay, maybe the daughter gets so much attention and love from the family, including the father, which that part, you have to balance it out. But still, you're still the mother. You're supposed to be mature. Speaking of Lady May, because Lady May has plans. Lady May learned that Clara, she's not... the $2 million that they thought they were going to get, it's not happening. It is not happening. The money management team looked and checked and realized, nope, they can't do that. Bishop, when he finds that out, he goes to Rochelle. He goes to Miss Cross, and Miss Cross tells him off. But then she listens to him because he needs help. He needs assistance. He's really sorry how he treated her. And she just said, here's how this works. I will never help you out. You showed me what you thought of me, so I'm going to believe you. And if you ever come back here, security, make sure that you don't contact me. I think, but by the end of the episode, she did that on purpose because she wanted to make sure that Bishop didn't have any other options but to come back groveling. And that's what happened. So when Lady May kept saying that she wants a divorce, Bishop, once he got a text message from Cross saying that, yes, let's make this partnership happen, I'll front you the money, Bishop is willing to do the divorce. But it looks like next week they're going to argue about how they're going to announce it to everyone. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess in true Greenleaf fashion. Jacob's storyline, this episode, aside from having to do with his daughter, also has to do with, Tasha Skanks. Now, Tasha Skanks, we see that she does like Jacob. She likes Jacob, and I think she actually believes that he's a good man and a good person, and she probably even sees certain characteristics that maybe she would have wanted in her own husband, because the entire episode, Rochelle was trying to get Tasha to get Jacob to sign paperwork, essentially taking some of the money from the main church, from Triumph, and putting it into a separate bank account for the smaller church that Jacob also had originally started, the real church. So they're doing a separate bank account. And I thought, okay, maybe she's going to hit him with some type of fraud stuff, which she still could. But when she actually talked to Tasha, Rochelle said, we need money to start up our own church, to get our own things moving. I'm just thinking, this just sounds so weird. Maybe they are just going to frame him with it later on. But Tasha, she was originally down. She wasn't excited, but she was okay with doing it until she saw, until she saw Jacob going and playing chess with his son. And his son, it's nothing like the daughter. His son has actual, but he's also little, so give him time. His son has manners. Thank you. Very polite, just adorable. And she feels bad. She feels really bad. That's a child of God. She's supposed to be a child of God, but she's doing all this other stuff in the name of her no good husband. And so she goes and leaves. She makes up an excuse that, actually, there's a thing in my office. The temperature's always messed up, but it's not a big deal. And so he said, no, I'm going to talk to the maintenance. I'll make sure that they have you hooked up. And so then he actually did. And because when Rochelle essentially said, yo, whose side are you on? That's when Tasha came back and She tried again. This time she had him actually signing the paperwork. Again, she still felt bad. And she felt even worse because, one, Jacob went, talked to the guy to make sure that her office is taken care of. And he was like, anything you need, I got your back. And he touched her. And I'm thinking, Lord Jacob, the boundaries, my guy, the boundaries. In the church, come on. We just talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Those boundaries. But he's like, you know, you're like family. And he wasn't looking at her weird or anything like I thought it was sexual. And she felt guilty because she's like, dang it, she likes him and he seems halfway decent. But he still signed the paperwork. I thought that maybe she was going to say, oh, no, sorry, that one's not correct. I thought she was going to do that, but she still has to follow the plan that Rochelle has out for them. So there's that. Let's see. Was there anything else? When Grace was talking to Darius, I thought it was interesting that Grace, she would be open to starting her own church. She just doesn't want to take over something that's already running, like the stuff that her parents have going on. And I think that's fair. And she also wanted to see, hey, would you be okay with being the first man or the first gentleman, I guess is what it's called. And he was just like, which kind of reconfirmed with Grace that, hey, this dude's cool and all. He really is cool and all. The problem is, I don't know if this will be for a long haul because Grace and Darius still want very different things. They want each other, but as far as in life on a day-to-day basis, they're two people that really wouldn't be together in a relationship because it'd be a huge conflict of interest. A huge conflict of interest. Let's see, what else? Oh, back to the hospital. I thought it was interesting because when Lady Mae was trying to show support for Sophia, Grace was just like, yo, I got this. Don't worry about it, because that's how Lady Mae is so finicky. Yes, she loves her grandchild, but it's not enough to just love your grandchild. You're supposed to love your own daughter as well. And she has a hard time seeing to be doing that. I loved how the family came together because they needed a reset. They all went to the chapel. At first it was just Grace, but all of them joined her after Charity came out and all of that. And I think that was important because they started saying, they started, doing the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day. They were doing that because they need a reset. The family's in shambles. And I loved how all of them had their own seat. All of them were sitting in different spots because they were, even though they were in the same room, they're still divided. Spiritually, mentally, all of that. And I loved that Charity, because she was in a wheelchair at this point, got up and sat next to her big sister and showed support for her big sister, but also put her head on her to acknowledge, I got you, I love you, and I do need you, and I'll accept your help as well. I really appreciated all of that. Next week is going to be a mess. If there's anything important that I missed, please down below, and see you guys next week.